I'm just going to read through a couple of things. It's been an honor and privilege to serve the people of Woodbury for the past 4 years. I will forever be inspired by the determination and dedication of my fellow town members, town council, as well as grateful to the many people I have met and worked with while in office. I'm proud of what we accomplished, proud that during my term in many ways we improved the quality of life in Woodbury. On December 31st, 2007, my term ends. Like many of you, I'm looking forward to spending time in the holidays with my family, friends old and new. I'm not entirely sure what I'll do after that. However, I do know that I will not fade into the sunset. There's still much that needs to get done. I like what I saw and heard from many of the residents I spoke before, during, and after this election campaign. The future and the future of Woodbury are worth fighting for, and I always plan on staying active in that part of the fight. An old teacher taught me a valuable lesson when he said, no matter how hard the loss, defeat may serve well as a victory to shape the soul and let the glory out. As one door closes, another one opens. But first, before I like to go, I'd like to make some comments about the recent election just to set the record straight. As all of you know, I'm a results guy, so no matter what the reason, I admit my campaign fell short of the goal last November. However, I will always remain humbled by everyone that believed in me enough to give me the time and support in the precious vote. In September at Woodbury Day, my opponents were having difficulty set up the committee to elect Woodbury Democratic tent. I stopped what I was doing to help them, and when it was all set up, we shook hands, agreed to run a clean campaign, and just stick to the real issues before all of us. That happened until 2 days before the election. I was disgusted when I read the flagrant lies contained in a flyer the same committee to elect Woodbury Democrats, handed out in Timber Ridge and Brookside in an attempt to unethically influence the outcome of the election. This flyer had 3 blatant lies, specifically aimed at the voters, who were the homeowners in that community that knew it upset them, felt victim and questioned by the reassessments of the former tax assessor. By stating in the flyer that I hired the tax assessor, I knew of the plan to increase those assessments and approved the plan to increase those assessments. My opponents confused the voters with lies while stealing their votes and destroying my record in the process. Number 1, I wasn't even on the town board when the assessor was hired. Number 2, by state law, the town board has absolutely no say in the assessor does, nor is he asked to apply to his actions. Number 3, my family also suffered too, as my home was reassessed by the same questionable methods as well. Long before anyone thought about the election, the town board had many discussions about the assessor's term, start date, duties, and in fact that one assessor operates independently of the town board. John Burke, the supervisor who's claimed to bring back open government and accountability, he does the exact opposite. We all knew what the assessor's role was. Therefore, I was in shock and belief when the Times-Herald reported that John Burke, the one secretly feeding those lies, the committee to elect Woodbury Democrats. I will never know why John Burke, retired high school principal, a person who I respected and trusted, chose this unprincipled path of lies and character assassination instead of debating the issues openly and honestly, probably because he was allowed to run unopposed. Carlton Levine and Bo Havlin put their names on the flyer. Even if somehow they didn't know they were spreading lies, which I find that hard to believe, shame on them for not checking the facts. What a disgraceful and tarnishful way for them to enter public life. In fact, the Times-Herald Record was so appalled, like I was, that the whole sorry episode on November 13th called for them all to resign and give Woodbury voters a chance to have an honest election. The people of Woodbury deserve better from their elected officials. History has shown us that candidates and their political committees who willingly use any devious methods to win will act in their own best interest first instead of the interest of the people they were elected to serve. Let their conduct others just like them in operating in Woodbury. Serve as a warning to the people in Woodbury, beware and be vigilant. As a lifelong martial artist and instructor of both adults and children, I've always taught my students we should live by the principles of Black Belt: respect, humility, perseverance, honesty, and self-control. I will take the self-control part now. I only hope our newly elected officials will dig down deep inside themselves and develop some of these principles. But still, no matter what happens, the fighting spirit, I believe, will live on. I will do what I have always done, what's right for Woodbury, putting results for the residents first before self-serving partisanship lies to fill an agenda. I will be back.